So, how what was how did you feel about your Eurobasket performance? Um, signing with the Jazz, kind of a whirlwind summer for you, and
Yeah,
just kind of translating to the finally getting to the league.
definitely was a huge summer for me. Very, very important summer. First of all, the signing with Jazz, it was unbelievable. It felt like a dream come true. I always wanted to to become an NBA player since I grew up, and it's been a long journey. And now I'm 26, almost 27, and sometimes this dream felt a little bit far. But right now, I'm so happy and excited to be here, and of course, I got a lot to learn. Got a lot of things to learn, but I feel pretty ready and pretty prepared. Then with the Eurobasket, for sure, it was a huge, great experience. It was so much fun, especially the group stage playing in front of our home crowd in Milan. And unfortunately, we come up short losing with France, but I think it was a step ahead for us as a group, as a team, for our national team, for our next goals in the next summer.
Do you kind of go over the process of signing with the Jazz, how they reached out and all that?
Um, my agent did all the job basically, but I know Danny Ainge was a big part of it, and Luca Desta for sure was a very very important influence for signing to you know for my signing, and I'm just really grateful and thankful for this big opportunity, and I'm ready to do whatever I can to help this team.
Simone, you had said that it's time to leave felt a little further away in the NBA. What was the turning point in your career in Europe that kind of made you feel like, hey, it was realistic to come from overseas?
Especially the last 2 3 years, I feel like I grew a lot as a basketball player, as a person. Especially I became a dad outside of basketball, and this was the biggest huge changement on my life. And then I started playing away from Italy. Before I went to play in Berlin, Germany, and then last year I played in Spain. And definitely last year in the Olympics, I felt like okay, maybe I can get a shot, I can get an opportunity. But I was always focused on my present, on the work I had to do, on the things I had to improve as a basketball player since this moment felt real.
Can you tell us kind of about your game? What do you feel like your strengths are? What are the areas where you would like to keep on improving?
I feel like I'm a good shooter. I can shoot the ball. I can run the floor very well. I'm pretty athletic, and I can play defense. I feel like my intensity on the court would be important, and of course I got a lot of things to improve, like my ball handling, my being able to play with the ball, pick and rolls, readings, and all this stuff. I have to improve.
What do you think your biggest adjustment uh, um, from playing overseas is going to be to the league, and what do you think translates?
Uh, Good question. I don't know yet because I never stepped foot on an NBA court yet, but I feel like the space is a little bit different. The rules are a little bit different, so I will have to adjust. And but I'm ready to do it. And as I said, I feel like I have to learn a lot, especially from the veteran of this team. I could learn a lot, and I can't wait to start.
Who do you know in the league?
Uh, in the league, right now, I don't know. Not so many people. I know Lowry, of our team, because I met him in the Eurobasket. I know Leandro Belmaro because I played against him last year when he was in Spain. And I've been meeting guys in the last 2 3 days, so hopefully I get to know him, all of them.
You said that you became a father.
Yeah.
Um, how old is your daughter, right?
She is almost 3.
Almost 3.
Yeah.
what is that? Because you mentioned it in kind of the progression of your career. So like, can you explain that?
Sure. I mean, becoming a dad was, as I said, a huge change. My personal life, I feel like I had to grow up in a minute, and because all of a sudden you have a huge responsibility, you have a human life in your hands, and it feels really like a huge responsibility. And this helped me growing a lot as a person, and to being able to teach my daughter some things, I had to also learn a lot of things. So I think that all this process helped me to become a better person. Hopefully, keeps doing that.
What's her name?
Bianca.
Is she here?
Yeah, she's here.
What are you most excited about for this season?
I mean, basically everything. Everything feels so new to me. Also living in the States is completely different, and everything's so good, so nice, and I just can't wait to be on the court to practice tomorrow, and being able to travel a lot with the team, and to see all the cities, and to play.
How much have you been in the U.S. before?
Really not much. This is my third time. So I've been to Boston, and I've been here again in July. That's it. This is my third time.
You talked about how you like Joe Ingles' game. Are there other guys whose games you kind of modeled yours after, or their level?
I think with Joe was a really fun fact, because the reporter that asked me that question misunderstood that Joe was my idol. It was really not like this, but of course I admire him as a player, as a person, and I love to play against him. Last year in the Olympics, he's a really nice basketball player, and but I think him as a player was a really good example. He had an amazing career in Europe before coming to the NBA, and was able to become a great NBA player. So it's a good inspiration for me, definitely.
Do you think ideally you would spend like 10 years in the States, or do you just want to be here for a few years, or is it more you can be here?
I mean, hopefully, I hope I can be here as long as I can. Prove that I can be an NBA player first of all, and then build my career over here would be a nice goal for me.
All good. Thank you, Simone.
Thank you very much, guys.
What was the intended quote about Joe Ingles?
The day before, this Italian reporter asked me who I liked from the Australian team. I say, of course, I say Joe, because it was my same role. And then the next day after the game, they told him that he was my idol. That I said he was my idol. It was not really like this. So.
Yeah.
Joe, media day for you, like it's like
First day of school.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah.
what's it like, and how nervous are you for it?
I've done media days at Kansas, all that stuff. It kind of just seems like the first real day, of starting the season, starting off everything. So obviously, there are little jitters, but I'm just ready. I'm more ready than nervous.
Talking about your days at Kansas, I mean, did you reach out to Doak, or like were you guys close? What was the situation?
So he was my roommate my freshman and sophomore year. Obviously, he was older. He was junior and senior when I came in, but Doak and I, we obviously got along. Him being from Nigeria, and me, being Nigerian too, we connected in that way. And my dad would cook for him all the time. He'd bring him, Nigerian meals all the time. So he was enjoying that. But when I, gotten traded here, I sent him a text. I was like, "Hey, Doak, what's up?" And he said congrats, and he's excited to have me here. So I'm excited to be here with him and the organization.
Does that make it a little bit easier, kind of getting traded, knowing that you're going somewhere where there's a familiar face?
Yeah, no, for sure. Kind of just going back and being like, oh, I'm a freshman again, because Doak is 2 years above me now. So no, it's been good though, and he's been supportive this whole time.
Are you staying with him again?
No.
What do you want to some things at Summer League that you weren't doing in Kansas as much, shooting off motion a little bit, and just balling?
Say that again?
You showed a few things in summer league that you didn't show at Kansas.
Mhm.
Just kind of some of your passing was better, and some of the shooting off motions. What are you trying to show, and what is this spacing doing for you?
Yeah, the spacing obviously is changing a lot of things. More looks, off screens, off reads, stuff like that. I think, that's what I have been working on the off season, just, reading things better, coming off screens, shooting off the bounce, different stuff. And also my playmaking ability, that I'm kind of, continuing off of Kansas.
Does that gives you a chance to elevate your game to kind of the next level?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously that's what I want to do with my game is, show that I can do more and just be that playmaking type.
I kind of related question. Do you feel like you want to establish yourself in what you do already? Kind of the 3-and-D stuff at the NBA level, or is it kind of showing that you can do everything? Kind of stuff like that.
Really, whatever Coach Hardy needs me to do. If he needs me to be that playmaking type, then I'll be that. If he needs me to be the 3D type, then I'll be that. So whatever he needs me to do, I'll do to my best ability.
What do you think the difference is between rookies who kind of can contribute and can succeed at the NBA level right away versus those who kind of need to bide their time?
I think really just coming in and knowing your role. A lot of guys say it, but really coming in, understanding what role you have and doing that to your best ability, focusing all your energy into that and helping or doing that so the team can be successful.
You're coming into a situation where obviously there's been a lot of turnover on the roster, a lot of big name players that have left now. Are the expectations or even the outlook of this team, it's probably not that great right now from the outside, but are you looking at it as just an opportunity because there's not as many mouths to feed, I guess, as big mouths to feed?
In a way, I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot more spread opportunity throughout everybody. And, coming to this situation, I was going to make the best of it no matter what. And, that's how I see it and just coming into it with a positive mindset. But I think, yeah, the opportunity for everyone is there. I think just internally, everyone's just trying to work and get better daily and obviously be successful as we possibly can be.
You had much of a chance to get to know any of the other guys during your brief time here?
Yeah, I mean, just through these past few weeks, just open gyms and lifting and meeting the guys, meeting all the new faces, all the coaches and everybody. So it's been good.
What stood out to you in that regard, or who?
Everyone's been nice. That makes it a lot easier. That makes my transition, me, Colin, and Lars' transition, a lot better. Just coming in with open arms and a really good organization.
The reputation around the league is that Kansas guys, because of Coach Self, have been coached hard. Do you agree with that? And how is that, helps you, and others that played under Coach Self, knowing that you guys played under a guy that, kind of didn't really let up on you?
Yeah, I would say more of not really playing under. I don't see it as playing under a hard coach. I see his standards as far as being a coach and what he asks from his players. I think is higher than other schools and other coaches would. So that's really where we get it from. Just that toughness, that grit that he really puts an emphasis on to win and what it takes to win and all the things that go into it. Definitely translate at any level of basketball. So what I know, bringing it to this team, I feel like I'll be valuable in that way too.
What do we need to know about you away from the court? What are you into?
I like to make music. I'm big into music. I like to watch movies. Kind of I wouldn't call myself like a movie critic, but I like to review movies and give my say on them, all that stuff.
Give us a top 3 favorite movies.
Top 3, okay. Number 1 is Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey, a really good movie. Number 2 is Nacho Libre. Just kind of switch it up. And then number 3 is Back to the Future 2.
Oh,
That's a good one.
yeah, that was a good one.
That's a good one.
Try the second one.
Why the second one?
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on, and it takes place in 2015, which they thought was going to be 2015, and it's totally different. But I just like watching, those kind of movies.
You like
Nostalgic.
sci-fi?
Yeah, sci-fi movies.
So what have things been like for you, I guess, since Summer League, because you were kind of hanging out with guys during Summer League?
Yeah, so Summer League was, interesting time because I couldn't play obviously, but out there with the teammates and stuff. So that was a lot of fun getting to know them. But it did stink not being able to play. But now finally cleared, so feeling good, feeling real good.
How long ago were you cleared?
Probably 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Did you have an ankle thing during OTAs?
So I had a past foot injury or toe or whatever, and then now, I had that, but it was nothing major at all.
Hasn't kept you out.
Have you talked to the coaching staff about kind of what you anticipate your role to be next year at all, or kind of what it's Will and the rest of the staff that will be to expect to see?
I feel like nothing really individually, but just understanding that this is a new year, new team, new staff, new front office, a lot of new parts, and understanding that going into it and just doing, our best and working towards a goal. So nothing individually, but just understanding that we have to have a good team culture.
Let me ask, I guess, same question, but about your game. What have they told you about what you need to improve on and where you can establish yourself?
I feel like just from college, my ability to defend, they really have harked on to keep working on that, obviously, and not only being a presence at the rim, but being able to switch on guards and be able to guard, in a half-court setting.
How did you become as good a rim protector as you become?
So growth spurt, first off, that helped a lot. And for me, it was just about, I played a lot of one-on-one with a lot of guards growing up, and so understanding that a lot of those guards are really crafty and how they get it up, and it's not just about going to the rim, but understanding, the timing of which you attack the ball, which hand they're going to use, what they're like predisposed to do, and understanding that with a lot of film comes a lot of analysis of that person you're playing. So for example, if I have a guard who I know really likes to shoot a pull-up, off of that pick and roll, I'm going to kind of bait him into shooting that pull-up, but know that my length can contest that shot. Or a guard that really likes to float the ball. I know I can attack that float if I see him start hesitating. And then if you kind of block a shot once or twice, they kind of start freaking out. So they kind of just start trying to, fake it, reverse. And then you don't really bait on the first fake, but then you go for the second or third one. I could sit here, as you can tell, a long time.
Follow-up question. How much have you imparted from your game from your father and your uncle?
Yeah, so, my brother, uncle, father all played basketball. And growing up in that household, my dad, the first thing we worked on was a right hand and left hand jump hook. My dad was what you call kind of like a cleanup player, a lot of rebounds, a lot of, physical play down low. And so my dad's only 6'8", and he was kind of bulkier than me. So I've kind of taken stuff from what I learned from him, but I was more like my uncle and more like a skilled kind of, longer big, and looking at how they played and how they just didn't do, one thing, but just were good players and very high IQ. And I feel like that's what separated them, and what I've taken from them is just how smart and how they analyzed the game and what they learned from it.
How much film do you watch?
A lot of film. I can't tell you how much. It was a big maturing point for me from my North Carolina year to Auburn year. Understanding that at North Carolina, I really only focused on the scout of my player or the big, but understanding that I took to heart trying to stop a whole team's offense. And so understanding, what they're running, because as a big, I'm kind of like, the linebacker. So I kind of see what they're running, so I can call out plays, call out screens, and understand, like I said before, understanding, okay, I not only have to understand what my big does, but I understand what this guard does. If I get switched off of this guard, what is he more likely to do? Is this guard really a shooter? Does he like to drive a lot? Does he like to make one drive and one quick change of direction? So to answer your question, I watch it.
Have you started kind of the process of learning all the NBA guys now?
Yeah, and so I haven't figured out a lot yet, but I feel like a lot of it will come with just playing against them. I've already tried looking at, film and tape of, how to stop Joel Embiid and stuff like that. Still working on that, but I just feel like it'll come with experience and just maturing.
Do you see yourself as a shooter in the NBA, being able to stay?
I do, no question. I think that I've really worked on it in the off season, and I know that the Jazz has confidence in my shooting ability. So I'm excited to show that, whether it's this year or years to come.
I don't know if you've seen or noticed. There's a lot of jokes that have been made on social media
About me and Will Hart looking
Yep.
like, yep.
Are those made internally?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay.
I've heard it all about me being his, other brother or something, or his clone. Let's face it, we both got the same haircut. We both got the same whatever face, jawline. So, I feel like Coach should be complimented that he looks like me. So that's just my opinion. But yes, no, I've heard it all.
Okay.
Are you worried that not playing summer league kind of throws you off your development a little bit?
I'm not worried at all about that. I've really worked hard despite not being able to play in summer league. I worked a lot with the staff. I think they have a lot of confidence in me. So I'm not worried about it.
Who have you gotten to know on the roster thus far in your time here?
So I have gotten to know a lot of the guys. Obviously, we've kind of taken to heart trying to hang out. But Jared Butler and I went to the BYU Baylor game. That was a lot of fun. That was an unbelievable game. Went to double overtime. BYU ended up winning, so I gave Jared a hard time about that. But John, a lot of the rookies are coming together. Ochai, Johnny, a lot of the younger guys, but even the vets. Mike Connolly, unbelievable guy. Jordan Clarkson. I feel like with this team that, and I'm a rookie, so I don't know about other teams, but right off the bat, I can tell that everyone wants to achieve a common goal, and not everyone has their own ego, but everyone understands that, this is a team. This is not an individual effort. And as a rookie, looking up to those guys who exhibit those characteristics, it's not hard to fall into just because they're such good leaders.
What's your number one goal for this season?
I've thought about it a lot, but I think that this year is just to do the best that we possibly can as a team. And whatever that looks like, I can't tell you because I can't predict the future, but I feel like that's a pretty dang good goal to have, because I feel like if that's the focus, then, you can only go forward.
Everyone good? Thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course. Thank you all.